You have one rifle, one hunting rifle, for whatever reason. What's the best caliber for this one hunting rifle? Today, we're going to show you the top 5 choices. So buckle up. Welcome back to the LocaCarnivore. Glad you could join us here. And today, we're talking about our top 5 choices for cartridges for the one gun hunter. So if you have only one gun or only want one gun to hunt with, what cartridge, what caliber should you choose? We're going to count down the top 5. We'll get the best one at the end of the video, so stay with us. And we're talking about the one gun hunter for North America hunting and European hunting. We're not talking about Africa. Africa is a completely different world, almost a different planet. We're going to do another video dedicated on that at some point. But for today, like I said, we're talking only about North America and Europe. How did we pick the top 5 cartridges for the one gun hunter? We went by 4 different criteria, 5 cartridges, 4 criteria. Well, math is weird, but at any rate, we went by 4 different criteria. The first is versatility. How many different species can this one cartridge ethically take? What is it good at? What kind of animals does it take best? So that's our first thing, versatility. If you're only got one gun, you want something that's going to take as many different species as you plan on hunting. Number 2, we're talking about cost. How much does the ammunition cost? It should be something that's relatively available, because if you're a one-gun hunter, most likely you're not Bill Gates or Elon Musk, or you don't have that kind of money at least. I don't think either of those guys hunt, frankly, but I don't think you have that kind of money. So you're worried about cost. You have one gun because it's economical to just have that one gun, or your economic circumstances just force you into that. So cost is important. So we're looking at stuff that's readily affordable by the average person. The third criteria is availability. How easily can you get this ammunition? If you remember the last ammunition shortage, ammunition availability can become a major issue. And if you have only one gun, you don't have the ability to transition to a second, third, or fourth cartridge that you can pick up more readily than the one you chose for your one gun. So we're looking for stuff that you can go into any hunting shop, any gun shop, anywhere in these areas we're talking about, and have a good chance that you're going to find that ammunition. And then the fourth criteria is range, effective range for this cartridge. How far out can it reach? Frankly, if you're only down to one gun, you should probably have a cartridge that's good to at least 400 yards effective range and has a reasonably flat trajectory to get you to that point. Number 5 on our list of cartridges for the one gun hunter, 308 Winchester. On the right, it's a 5.56 by 45, and on the left is a 308. This cartridge, basically, it does quite a bit. It's so versatile. It's the working class hero of cartridges. It just does its job. It doesn't have a lot of flash to it. It doesn't get a lot of press. It just day in and day out goes out there and gets the job done and puts meat on the table. Now, while it can and has taken probably just about everything that walks on 4 legs in either North America or Europe, it's a little light, in my opinion, even with the heaviest bullets that you can get in that caliber. It's a little light for the biggest bears, so like, Alaskan coastal bears, the big brown bears in Siberia, and polar bear. It's a little light. It can do the job, but I would shy away from it for that job. 308 is the best-selling cartridge by sales volume in North America, and it is probably the 2nd or 3rd most popular cartridge in Europe as well. So this thing is all over the place. Availability is great. I can't imagine where you couldn't find this. Also, the price is very affordable by today's standards, at least. It's very affordable. You can have economical ammunition, or you can have more premium ammunition. Even the premium offerings are still going to be generally within the realm of most people's budgets. And during the last big ammo panic, there was still 308 on the shelf. When there was nothing else hardly for rifle ammo, 308 was on the shelf, so that's a good choice for you. Plus, 308 has full metal jacket loads available at a reasonable price. And full metal jacket can be versatile. I wouldn't use it for primary hunting, for meat hunting, but when it comes to taking care of predators or fur bearers, it's a great load. And it's also great for practice. This way you can practice inexpensively and get to know your rifle instead of burning up really expensive ammo. The 308 has a very good effective range on elk size animals. We're talking elk, moose, red stag for you Europeans. We're talking 400 yards. It's a solid performer on those size of animals to 400 yards. Lighter bodied animals, even a little bit further than that. And the do-it-all, the go-to load for this cartridge, I would go with the 165 grains. Number 4 on our list of best cartridges for the one-gun hunter, my favorite, the 375, the 375 H&H, or Holland Magnum. This cartridge is the granddaddy of them all. It has fathered all the belted Magnums ever produced. It is just a wonderful cartridge. It hits to the same point of aim regardless of bullet weight, and it's just fantastic. It literally has dropped every single animal that walks on this planet. Everything and it's good for everything from woodchucks all the way to elephants, as I like to say. Now, admittedly, this is a pricey load these days. The prices really have gone up. So it might not make the cut as far as the price. Availability is reasonably good, especially if you go to places where big critters are hunted. So if you go up to Alaska, you go to Canada, a lot of parts of Europe, you're going to find this cartridge readily available on the shelf. However, you're going to pay for it. The 375 H&H has the same trajectory roughly as a 180 grain 30-06 load, so it's very usable. It'll hit out to 500 yards easily, maybe even a little bit beyond. It's definitely elk size animal effective to 400 to 500 yards, no problem whatsoever. It would have scored a bit higher on our hierarchy except for the cost. Like I said, it's very expensive, so that's why it didn't get any higher place than this, as much as I love it. Best load for the 375 H&H? Without a doubt, in my opinion, it's the 300 grain. It does everything, and like I said, it still has a good trajectory. I would look for off-skinned animals. I'd get a partition or a trophy bonded or a something like that. Maybe the Swift A-frame. Any of those cartridges, any of those loads, spot on. Go with the 300 grain every time on 375 H&H. Hey, don't forget, we get a lot of support from viewers like you, so if you wouldn't mind, go to the link to our Patreon down in the description there. Show us a little love. Number 3 on our list, the 30-06 Springfield. Now, I had to put this on the list basically because the 30-06 Springfield fanboys, they would probably come and pay me a visit if I didn't mention their cartridge, so just to avoid trouble, I've put this on the list. That aside though, it would still make the list even without the fanboys out there. This is maybe not as versatile as the 375 H&H. While it has the same trajectory, it won't take the biggest animals, but loaded correctly, it's suitable even for the large bears. 30-06 available everywhere. I don't care where you go, you're gonna find 30-06, just like the 308. It's affordable, a little more expensive than 308, but not bad. It's still quite affordable. Effective range on the 30-06 for elk, I'd put it out at 500 yards. Basically, you get an extra 100 yards over the 308. And that's the case with the 30-06. Regardless of bullet weight, you'll always get about an extra 100 yards of effective range over the 308. Something to think about. Now, the best load for 30-06, the do-it-all job on this is the 180 grain. This thing will take just about everything. However, if you're going after the big and dangerous stuff, definitely want a 220 to 250 grain bullet. The unfortunate thing is, unlike the 375, where you can get it all done with the 300 grain bullet, even the big nasty animals, the 30-06 performs best with the 220 to the 250. And that means 2 different loads, and unlike the 375, it will not hit the same point of impact. So you'll either have to have a dial-a-prayer scope and re-zero your scope, redial the scope when you switch loads, or you're going to have to decide which load you want. If you're not going to hunt the big stuff, the dangerous stuff, stick with the 180s, but if you are going to hunt that stuff as well as others, you might want to just go with the 220 and then just get in closer on the other animals that aren't going to bite back. Hey, and don't forget to give us a big like on this, a thumbs up, we'd appreciate it. Subscribe, we'd love to have you on the team, and ring that notification bell. 30-06 also has full metal jacket FMJ loads, just like the 308, same advantages. Now, it did not score higher than 3rd place because our next 2 contestants just completely outpace it. So that's why it ended up in number 3. Sorry, 30-06 fanboys. Our number 2 choice for the one-gun hunter is the 7mm Remington Magnum. Fantastic cartridge. Probably the 2nd best-selling cartridge in the United States. Kind of keeps pace with the 30-06 on sales. Definitely the best-selling cartridge worldwide, however. So it is just phenomenally popular. So there's your availability. You're going to find it everywhere. Price is, it's more, but it's not terrible, especially for a belted Magnum. Now, the 7 Rem Mag gives you several things. First of all, it gives you Magnum level power, but with about 30-06 levels of recoil. So if you're recoil sensitive, but you need something that's going to reach out there, shoot really flat, and hit hard, 7 Rem Mag's probably the way to go. Now, elk effective range on this, on the 7 Rem Mag, 600 yards, maybe even a little bit further. So it's a really good load, especially for open country or hunting up in the mountains where you might have to shoot across a draw or something like that, or across a valley. Really good load for that. Best bullet weights in this cartridge, in my opinion, I would go with the 160. I don't go with anything lighter than that. And I prefer the 175s. The 175s, fantastic combination of ballistic coefficient and sectional density. These things hit like you would not believe. I'll tell you what, if you want more content, please go visit our website. Links in the description. There's also a tab there while you're there. You can go to the store, get some merchandise, help us out. All right, what you've been waiting for, the #1 cartridge for the one gun hunter, it is none other than the 300 Winchester Magnum. This is truly a do-it-all cartridge. Short of the big 5, because it's simply not legal in most African countries, but it could actually probably do the job with the right bullet. This thing is phenomenal. It hits way harder than anything on this list except for the 375 H&H, and it's wonderful. It's a great load whether you're up close or whether you're far away. The 300 Win Mag is a genuine, with the right bullet, it is a genuine 1,000 yard elk killer. It will do the job. And all you people with your other 300s, whatever, frankly, if you're shooting at animals beyond at those kind of distances, I'm not sure about you to begin with, but if you need it, it'll do it. So that's the good thing about the 300 Win Mag. The other thing about the 300 Win Mag, using it in the field as well against my 375 H&H, I've noticed the wounds are very similar to 375 H&H. It's really hard to tell during post-mortem on a game animal the difference between the wounds between a 375 H&H and a 300 Win Mag. So if you're making pretty much the same kind of a wound, at least on smaller animals, lighter animals, not the big 5, why put up with the extra recoil, expense, and less availability that you get with the 375? Oh, my poor 375. Oh well. And the 300 Win Mag just reaches out there. Frankly, a hunter with a 300 Winchester Magnum has little need for a 7mm Remington Magnum or a 30-06. Sorry, 30-06 fanboys. You can find 300 Win Mag all over the place. It's a universal cartridge just like the 30-06 and the 308, so don't worry about that. You'll probably always be able to get some of that. Best load for the 300 Winchester Magnum is, well, the traditional do-it-all load is the 180 grain load, and I've used that and it's just spectacular. However, lately I've gone to the 200 grain bullet weights. You get a higher ballistic coefficient, higher sectional density, and if you're not sure what kind of critters you're going to hunt and you live and hunt in a place that has big ones as well as the medium and small ones, that 200 grain's got you covered for the biggest, and it'll certainly do the job on the smaller ones. Hey, and don't forget to share this video, please. And what do you think? If you had one gun, only one hunting gun, do you only have one hunting gun? But if you only could have one, what cartridge would you use? Are they the ones on our list, or do you have a different one? We'd love to hear from you, so go down in the comments and let us know. All right, there you have it. The 5 top choices of cartridge for the one gun hunter. We certainly hope you learned something today. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us here at the LocaCarnivore today. We truly do appreciate it. And remember, the ultimate act of resistance is insisting upon facts. And you can usually learn at least one thing from every person you meet. So pay attention.